Hello everybody. In one of my previous videos, I've talked about a Canon F1 and a specific problem with it related to a power switch that turns on and off the light meter. So in today's video, I'd like to tackle a similar issue, only on a slightly different model. We've got a Canon FTb here, and it exhibits similar issues. So we're on top here, we've got this switch on, off, and battery check. If I set it to an on, okay, you obviously have to see the light meter needle steady in the viewfinder. In this particular case, it is jumping, okay? So that tells me that there is a problem with the switch. The meter works, however, the contact that initiates the activation of the meter is probably dirty or oxidated. Same goes with battery check. So when you switch it to battery check and hold it, it's supposed to go to a certain level and stay steady, okay? And it's not happening. So I'd like to go ahead and open up the top cover and demonstrate what causes that problem. It's really simple, not too complicated. It doesn't require dismantling of the entire camera, but it is interesting to see how easy it is to get to if that's the only problem you're experiencing. As a matter of fact, it could actually not turn the meter on at all if it's too contaminated, the contact. So keep that in mind, because light meters on this particular FTb camera is pretty sturdy and reliable. So chances are it's either oxidated contacts, could also be dirty battery terminals. Just keep that in mind. But in our particular case, that's not the case. As you can see right here, this is the battery terminal. You want to make sure it's all shiny and clean. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and open the top cover, and I'll demonstrate where those contacts are and how to or how I clean them. All right, so first things first, we'll remove the battery cap. The next thing, we're going to remove a couple of screws on the back. There's one on the side. And one on the front. Okay, after that, I'll go ahead and remove the rewind knob. And then the winding lever. So with a winding lever, you got to use the proper tools. I use this thin needle nose pliers. I'm gonna go ahead and go counterclockwise. Remove it. There's a little washer here that I got to take out. And then we've got another screw washer here, okay? But before I start removing it, I gotta loosen up a couple of flat-headed screws here, and only then try to loosen it up. Okay, they are now ready. All right, we're gonna go clockwise on this particular one. And now we've got our winding plate. I'm gonna remove that. Then we've got a washer here. All right, so the next step, the way I like to remove this shutter speed dial / ASA dial is by setting the speed to 1/1000th of a second and ASA to 100, okay? So that's the way I do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this screw. By holding this dial, I'm gonna carefully lift it. And what you'll notice is there's gonna be a marking. Usually there is one, okay? In some cases you may not see it, but like I said, in most cases it will be marked black, blue, or red. So in this particular case it's black. I'm gonna carefully lift it up. I'm gonna put this dial back in place because I don't want it to lose its positioning while we're working on this issue. Okay, now it's in place. I'll go ahead and put the screw back on. Okay, perfect. Now, to our issue at hand. So this is the section that controls our meter activation, be it the battery check, off, or meter on. So this right here, the contact I've got to clean, and this right here, okay? So what I do is I'm gonna take my eraser pen or pencil, and I'm gonna carefully squeeze it between these two contacts and just go up and down, okay? As I do that, you'll notice it becomes extremely dirty. So this dirt makes a big difference with that issue of inconsistent or erratic light meter. I'm not talking about the accuracy of the light meter, just talking about stability of the needle. And I'll do the same thing on this side here. All right, and after that I'll go ahead and clean it with the alcohol solution. And in here. So you can see that it's actually, that pencil took out most of the grime and dirt, since there's really not a lot of markings on my pad, alcohol pad here. Everything looks to be okay. All right, since I'm here, again, there's really nothing else wrong with it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the necessary adjustments of the light meter, and then clean the viewfinder. So let me go ahead and get to the light meter calibration. I'll put the battery back in place, and I will step away for a second while I'm calibrating it. Okay, what I'll do next, I'm going to short. I don't want to put the top cover on because I have to calibrate the resistors. I'm going to go ahead and put a temporary padding here to activate the light meter. I'll put my lens on and I will check for the accuracy of the light meter. Right. All right, so light meter was a little bit off, so I've calibrated it accordingly. So let's go ahead and remove this lens and the battery. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this prism assembly and see how dirty and dusty that area is. Okay, perfect. Gonna go ahead and secure it now. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up and remove my shutter speed dial and work our way back to reassembling this top cover. All right. So it's usually a little tricky to put it back because now you don't have access to align it when it doesn't have the top cover on. So I almost have to play with this dial here at an angle to find the right spot for that hole. So it's a little tricky, but it's definitely possible. There we go. Put it back in place. Sorry about the angle, you couldn't see it. All right, the battery cap goes next. Then lastly, we have 4 screws, 2 on the back, 1 on the side, and 1 on the front. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the rewind knob. So that'll do it for us. Yeah, just wanted to show you the simplicity and the process of cleaning this area, cleaning the contact, because it's a fairly common problem. In many cases on these older FTb or FT cameras, this is the only issue. So that's something that some of you with tools and some basic skills should be able to tackle. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.